What's up, y'all? Welcome to...
Why are you screaming, my man?
My bad, man. I forget. We in Seeds Faces. I got a mic in front of me.
Amen.
What is this? At this point, I don't even know the count of this podcast, but look, man, this one, we're about to get deep. About to go into the metaverse. Podcast about the podcast. And you already know what it is. This is something's coming.
Yes.
Woo! You know what I mean? It's the soon-to-be #1 podcast streaming online.
The #1 podcast in my mother's living room.
That's it. But on this podcast, who we got, man? Let us know the favorite characters of the day.
Yeah, it's Nim Diesel.
What up, guys? Khan, aka Party Khan.
And it's your boy Zeeth, back again. But you know what? Not even about me. We got a special guest today.
Yes, we do.
It is a new face to the podcast, which is always welcome. Probably sick of our faces anyway. So who we got in the building? We got the lovely AJ.
Hi.
The Alex Johnson. Ladies and gentlemen, make some noise. Enter noise.
What sort of noise?
Something's going on there. It's going to be great. Yeah.
It's a pleasure to have you, man. How you feeling?
I'm feeling happy to be here.
Amazing.
I'm very excited to see you guys again. And also meet you for the first time.
Actually, not a first time.
Ooh.
No.
When you're a celebrity,
but what I'll say is because I kind of knew you because I was very new in the crossover. Because for everyone's context, AJ used to work at the same company we used to work at one point in time. And I was super new, and I knew about you. Yeah. And then you left.
Knew about you. You know, you already achieved celebrity status by then, you know.
The woman who managed to talk her way into a redundancy. That's the trick, though, is that I actually also knew what you look like. I was just politely pretending, but you've made it uncomfortable now.
Good cover.
Yeah, smooth.
Yeah.
I will level with you guys. I went to a hardcore show last night.
Yeah.
So I went and saw two of my favorite acts, actually. Speed, who Western Sydney hardcore.
Cool.
And then...
Any relation to Keanu Reeves?
I was about to say. Was it on a bus?
They do actually do the whole thing on a bus. It's pretty incredible to watch.
Be mad.
And then also Turnstile, who are an American band.
Cool.
Turnstiles?
Turnstile.
Like a fake Harry Styles?
Yeah. If Harry Styles was really into, like, just mosh pits, you know.
Love it.
Yeah.
Nice.
And I went with a bunch of my friends, which was great, but I stood at the back and I was like, you are too old to go into the mosh pit, Alex.
They say that?
No, it's true, Khan. I have the structural integrity of a piece of wet spaghetti. And so I was like, don't do it. You have work tomorrow. Like, it's fine. Don't do it. Anyway, I got too hype. And I was
like that.
I want to throw some elbows.
Fuck yeah, man.
Yeah.
And I did, and it was great, but I now have just no neck movement. It's all bad.
Jelly neck.
Yeah.
You don't have to keep facing this way. You want to talk at them the entire episode.
You just get to watch me spin lightly this whole time.
Thankfully, these are swivel chairs.
I also have ADD, so I'm just going to be lightly twirling this whole time.
Love it.
I like that. While we're all looking so nice, y'all, everybody looking their best today. I know it's been a hot day and we're trying our best not to sweat, but you know, I just want to know what everybody's wearing today, how they feeling themselves, how they're expressing themselves on this lovely Friday. How about we start with the lovely AJ?
Oh, thank you so much. Look, I'm not going to lie. I forgot that you guys filmed this. But I am sensible and I don't film mine. So today we've got a men's shirt. That is,
love that.
That's gorgeous.
It has stains on it and a broken button, which is why I'm wearing
character
with a very beautiful black top underneath and some satin trousers. Because nothing says business like satin trousers.
Yeah.
The real trick here is that what I've done is just make pajamas fancy, but just fancy enough
fashion.
for work.
Yeah.
That's a hack, man.
You gotta get on it. I recommend it strongly. The other thing is my jewelry.
Yeah.
This
Rings are
one
nice.
Bling
is
down.
like a consistent piece that I always wear.
Hmm.
I bought it with my first ever paycheck.
Ooh.
No way.
And this is my Latin curse hand.
Damn.
So this signet
Speak us through
ring
that, yeah.
has a burning bridge on it.
Oh.
And it says, the bridges I burn will light the way in Latin.
Ooh.
And this one is one that my friend made. Shout out
Yeah.
to Lilu Jewelry.
Yeah,
it
shout out.
says blood and fire, fire and ash.
Oh
Latin.
my god.
Yeah, man.
Also,
Right.
like the middle finger, if you need to like get into a fight and jab
I was
someone,
about
I'm
to
ready
say,
to.
it's
That
got some
thing.
weight to it. Yeah.
Yeah, ready to get a
Flat
lot
surface.
going.
I like
Burn
it.
some bridges, you know what I'm saying?
Some people got a square on their forehead somewhere around
Gotta
the
be your
world,
best
man.
behavior this
That's it,
podcast.
man.
You know AJ, right?
Yeah, good to meet you, man.
Got branded.
Yeah, that's it, man.
Yeah.
But all I'm gonna say is I think I was behind you while we were crossing the street, and I haven't seen you in a minute. But the way these guys describe you is that your fits are always funky and they're fresh, and I was like, this person looks funky and fresh, so I think this is it.
That's AJ, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you.
There you go.
See a 5 fit.
Yeah, and then to make myself look slightly more awake, I've put on a lipstick
Hey.
Yeah.
and a mascara.
Damn.
Double
She's
damage.
femme.
Yeah.
Like that.
Shout out to
Ready to
AJ.
party.
What kicks you got on? You always usually have some docs or something menacing
Yeah,
going on.
It's too hot for docs.
Fair.
But we got the Converse. We got the bog standard black
Yeah.
low rise.
Comfy.
Safe.
I dig.
Yeah.
I dig.
Okay.
Lovely.
What you got on, Nims?
Look, I try to bring the heat for
you did.
AJ. I got a double rainbow button up here. It's got all my favorite things: love hearts, bubbles,
Hey.
rainbows, sunsets, angels. Yeah. So we're here now. I've got the hacked. This is like the pajama hack pants from Uniqlo.
Yeah.
The stretchy ones
Yup.
that they're like an easy fit, but you can wear to work. They're like
Yup.
track pants, but you can wear them to work.
Gotta get that stretch in.
Oh my god, do you ever? Yeah. And then I got the dusty Air Force One on today. They got holes at the bottom now. It's pretty tragic, but yeah. Khan, what you got on today, man? What's happening?
Well, I've got the let's call it the cock beater because I don't like the other term.
Yeah, dirty.
I was wearing this guy here, but then it was too hot in the car, and then you kind of just convinced me to just keep the single.
Tell the truth. I just wanted you to put the guns out.
Yeah,
You know what I'm
just,
saying? My
look,
man's been in the
but-
gym.
Hey,
He
we
been
gotta get
working.
the news somehow.
This man is ready to beat some cocks.
Give me the cocks.
Let's beat up some cocks tonight. Yeah, we've got some brown shorts on Saturdays, and I got my rainbow Solomons on, which I'll show later in the fit check afterwards. But yeah, just keeping it very beach and very active too. If I need to run away from somebody or chase someone or dodge your punches later, I'm ready to go.
for you,
Man, what are you
Khan.
about to get up to, man?
I honestly think you might have nailed like what you need to, how you need to prepare for life in a fit.
Yeah.
Just if I can run at someone or run away from someone. If I can do that in my outfit, I got a
Yeah,
good
yeah,
outfit
That's
on.
number one.
See, I go for the nice middle where it's freeze. And hopefully walk away.
Blend in.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love it. Bring us home, Zeef.
Yeah, man, I got Uniqlo on head to toe because
Nice.
you know me, I'm a Uniqlo ambassador, not yet, but trying to be.
Sponsor this man.
For real, come get me, y'all. I'm ready. Got the Uniqlo shirt on. I think it's like part of their Marnie collection, which was nice.
Did you say Armani?
Nah, Marnie.
Oh, okay,
Marnie.
okay.
They
I
got
was
some
like,
nice florals.
I don't know if the gay men would like that one.
Yeah, you look like a painting, man. You look like
Thank you, man.
put
It's
a-
gorgeous.
One
Just-
way, you know, it's the least I can do.
Yeah.
And then I got these Uniqlo pants as well. They got these like pajama looking type, but I bought them during like Christmas,
Okay.
and they were like $20 when they used to be 60. So I was like copping.
My fellow discount hunter.
That's it. And then I got the Air Force Ones on. They also kind of beat up, but we trying our best.
Hey,
You know what I mean?
which types of Air Force Ones are those?
Look, these called the Air Force Ones.
Okay.
You know what I mean? These the
The farce.
farce. Farce is strong with this one.
Yeah. So AJ, just for context, there's like the same silhouette or style of shoe. Zeet has many of them, but there are ones that are like that are the shoe, and then the ones that are like the Cambodian knockoffs. So I always have to ask, like, what are we wearing today? What are we rocking today?
And you never know. I got a guy back there hooks me up. You know what I mean?
He's doing good.
You got to be thrifty.
That's it.
Yeah, that's it.
If you can get the shape.
They call me fast fashion for a reason. That's it.
Because you zooming down the street. Just
Yeah, that's it. Just be like, they're not original. Don't get me.
That's actually a good way of not letting people tell if your clothes are fake or not. Just
keep
move really quick.
That's it.
Yeah.
Anytime someone's like, yo, what is that? Nah, I'm out of there.
Can't even see it.
Yeah.
Probably real.
I'm out of there. That's it. AJ, the reason we have you on the podcast today is because we know that you film and record. Well, no, sorry. You record your own podcast.
ain't no filming happening here.
No filming there. But you do record your own podcast. And so I kind of wanted to, get to know more about your podcast. I'm sure our listeners would be keen to understand what you do. And it just got real moody up in here. Just start for what's the name of your podcast for all our listeners out there?
The name of my podcast is Pop Culture Boner.
Yep. Y'all heard it.
Yummy.
In like a few sentences. So, what's the podcast about?
So we approach popular culture from a cultural studies perspective, I guess. Sometimes it's very silly, and sometimes it's a bit more serious, not super serious, but approaching pop culture with the idea that it matters and is relevant and is worth kind of deep diving on.
Yeah, no, that's sick. I mean, we had a little bit of I'm sure, some of us took a little gander here and there. And I think the episode I listened to was Kim Kardashian, Marilyn Monroe.
The dress.
And the dress catalog. And that was a real, I wasn't sure what I was in for, but it not only you kept it light, but also it was really informative. And then I kind of checked out the blog, and you had references in there, and I was kind of like, damn, not only this is detailed, man. And I'm glad you said study, because I was like, okay, it makes sense now.
I have an arts degree, and there are 3 things that you can do with an arts degree. It's be interesting at dinner parties, go into academia, or be a teacher. And the podcast, I think, is just being good at dinner parties. So
not many people are.
I do a lot of reading for them, though, and then kind of build them out from there.
Yeah, and that's evident because it was very well put together. Your thoughts are well constructed. But at the same time, they're
preparation is. Yeah. We were talking about that. We had we were both working from home today on the top floor of our apartment, and we just put you on the Bluetooth speaker and we're just working in the background. Carl was kind of laughing at me because I was just fanboying the whole time. I was like giggling. And I was like, oh my God, she's so funny. Oh, she's so smart. Oh, Carl's like, all right. What about me? I've got muscles.
We were listening to the Brad Pitt episode. You were going deep, and I think
it was peak. It was really good.
Oh, thanks.
And look, I must just put it out there. Nim's mentioned he's never seen Mr. and Mrs. Smith. Can you believe that?
Yeah,
what?
Have you seen
Angelina Jolie?
Yeah, I know.
How you gonna do it like that?
That's
Lara Croft, bro.
The movie.
This is how they got together.
It's the horniest movie you'll ever see in your life. They are beating each other up in the sexiest way possible.
Oh my God.
It's hot. You got to get in on it.
But your analysis, look, yes, I will watch it, guys. I apologize. Maybe even this weekend, who knows? But
you guys ever get into bonus content, you just bring me on, we'll watch a movie together.
Dude, we definitely need to do that, 100%. Some trash as well. But I really like Zeeth was saying, and I think you touched on as well, obviously, deep diving into culture and kind of pinpointing why certain things might matter more than they seem to the average person. You got into Brad Pitt's masculinity and his positioning as this actor who's kind of put on a pedestal and is obviously amazing looking and is this action figure, but then also maybe doesn't have the credentials to be a critically acclaimed actor, but is at the same time, and then is this mysterious guy as well. I just when I see Brad Pitt, I see Brad Pitt, but you open my eyes to all these different perspectives about him, and I was like, shit, yeah.
I'm really happy to hear that, because it's some of it is deeply silly. I think the 3rd episode I ever did was about Harry Styles and Robbie Williams kind of being the blueprint for Harry Styles, which is objectively, when you kind of look at it, pretty silly. It like doesn't really matter. But I think boy bands are kind of like a fascinating thing to look at, and kind of looking at them on a continuum is pretty interesting. So like, I think it's fun to do like light stuff like that and kind of stare at it just a little bit harder, you know?
Yeah.
Is that how, like, and you also mentioned when you were talking to the introduction piece that is it a we project? Are there multiple people involved in it? And
so I have a producer.
Okay.
My friend Wesley. We went to high school together.
Shout out to Wesley. Yeah.
Shout out Wesley. So Wesley does my audio because I hate editing audio.
Fair.
Yeah.
I actually just hate I hate audio. I hate video. And the podcast itself actually used to be a blog.
Okay.
But then people stopped reading blogs, and I was like, probably a podcast. And so I started doing it, and then I tried to edit it myself. And the other thing is like I have ADHD,
right,
and my auditory processing is not good.
Okay.
Most of the time.
Right.
And so when I listen to audio, I'm like, well, I can hear what I'm saying, so it's fine. And then I played it to Wes, and they were like,
bruh,
Alex, this sounds like you're screaming next to a highway. And I was like, okay,
right.
Would you like to do it? And they very kindly said yes.
Awesome.
Sick.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Awesome.
Well,
Shout out to Wesley. Yeah.
Yeah, we listen to your podcast, and you have the voice for a talk show. Like,
Yeah.
so soothing. We had the AC on. We were working. We listened to your voice, and it was just a match made in heaven.
Yeah, it was.
like calm.
Oh, that's
Beautiful.
so nice.
Like I felt like I was listening to either like something on NPR or like BBC. It was like very like smooth and like really well put together. You know?
Oh, thank you. Yeah.
In comparison to the green screen that we got there, but, you know,
love the green screen.
Yeah.
Sure.
the green board.
Yeah.
Green.
Yeah.
The green drapery.
Yeah.
The green Greek drapery.
If I stand up against it, you won't see me no more.
Yeah, man, you're gonna disappear with that shirt on.
But going back to your what you said before, and you used to blog. I think I mentioned read something on your website. It said you blog starts since 2012.
Yeah.
What made you get into it, and also like what was the frequency of blogging back then and versus now? Like where you say you do a podcast every single week versus back then. How did it kind of progress to where you are now?
So I was doing a journalism degree, but I think I actually might have started doing it before that. I had a lot of thoughts and nowhere to put them. And also I feel like 2012 is kind of like peak blog time, right? Where like people are getting brand deals off the back of Tumblr.
Oh,
You know,
I remember Tumblr, man.
Yeah.
Goddamn.
Yeah, like that doesn't happen anymore because that's just a site for people losing their mind slowly, which is why I'm still there. But I started blogging, and I used to do Wednesdays and Fridays, so I did twice weekly. And it gained quite a following.
Sick.
I think I capped out at like a bit under 10K.
Whoa.
Yeah, it got featured on, so I used WordPress as the platform.
Right.
And it was featured,
WordPress.
they have a thing called Freshly Pressed, and one of the things was featured there. So it
Sick.
got a little flood of subscribers, which was nice.
AJ.
Yeah.
Love that.
And then I stopped doing it because I'm mentally ill.
Yeah, right.
Aren't we all?
Well, I'm glad you're back on the podcast.
Thank you.
Yeah.
We can't wait to hear more. It was so entertaining, honestly, and
Thank you.
perfect way to brush your teeth in the morning, listen to the shower. Like 20 minutes, it's fun size, and what's next? Like, what's on the agenda?
So we're about to do season 4. We took a little break in last year because work sucks.
Yeah.
And I was very burnt out. And so we kind of put it down for like a minute, and then the minute became like 6 months. And so now we're kind of relaunching. 1st of March is the aim.
Right.
So 1st of March, if you could all just
Yeah.
download that bad boy. First episode is going to be actually about self-care.
Love that.
How good.
And it's going to be, we're trialing like a couple of different little formats this time. So we're doing, this one's going to be sort of a weird 2-parter where I start off talking about self-care. We'll do a little episode on that. And then it's going to lead into one about the wellness industry to white supremacy pipeline.
Oof. Sick.
Bros, this is like the thread that I'm weaving into all this from you is like, it's the perspective you didn't know you need on the topics that you see and hear about every day. You know what I mean?
This is why I need you to write my taglines, because I'm real bad at
man. I'm in. Let's do it.
Well, I want to know, like, how do you kind of like plan it? Because like, do you kind of just kind of do it as it comes, or do you kind of know what you want to talk about? How do you go about that process?
So I do a little plan of what I want.
Cool.
Because a lot of it is really just based on stuff that I'm already thinking about.
Yeah.
And then we leave little gaps for the episodes to be filled in case something big happens.
Yeah.
So like, for example, if we were doing episodes at the moment, we might have talked about like Renaissance being robbed of a Grammy again.
Yeah.
Someone give Beyonce the Grammy.
Mm.
Anyway, like topical stuff like that. So we just try and slot it in. But because they take quite a while to kind of research, we try and do them a little bit in advance. But I'm pretty badly organized. So I also sometimes launch strong with like an episode backlog, and then it just becomes writing it week to week.
Yeah.
But my brain moves pretty fast and I don't sleep very much. So it's actually like a lot of reading and then a lot of thinking and then just like sitting down to write.
Amazing.
Damn, man, that's better than me. You couldn't get me to read for more than 30 minutes.
Oh man, I'm out like a light, man.
These are complex thoughts, so I'm already like, why is my toast burnt? That's the thoughts going through my head, not like, you know, was like Renaissance getting robbed and all that.
Yeah.
That's deep, man. You know?
By the way, this potty ain't probably going to go live for another few months. That plug, unfortunately, for listeners.
God damn it!
It's not going to be live.
I came here for the advertising opportunity, and I am out.
AJ's like, what the fuck, man? It's like, as soon as he said 1st of March, I just looked over. We looked at each other like.
Well, thank you, AJ, for giving us a little bit of the laydown of what your podcast is about. It's been good.
Thank you so much.
How are you feeling so far? It's a bit steamy in here. Are you feeling parched? Feel like you might need a little bit of a drink?
You better feel parched.
I'm really just surprised that the conversation has gone so well that we've teleported.
Yeah.
know?
Look, guys.
Yeah, I was gonna say, you kind of did that without actually confessing that we have changed.
Because
I don't know what you mean, Khan.
the conversation is so good.
We're in the Matrix.
We manifested this. No, this next segment, AJ, for your context, is Icebreaker. And so I've gone and ran to the different convenience stores around the spot. And what we have in the selection for today is some iced teas. These are actually two of my personal favorites.
Oh.
Some sodas. They're like probiotic sodas, non-sugar, organic sodas. I think there's a grapefruit one, a lemon bitters one.
Oh my lord!
Any catch in your eye?
Lemon bitters.
Yeah.
That's that green
that's the one there.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
I'm happy to go first.
Yeah, Con.
Just gonna do a little Google lens on this product.
You love that lens though.
Mm-hmm.
For those watching at home, it's a Kung Shi Fu Cool Ice Black.
Yeah.
KSF iced tea.
That's the one.
Otherwise, Kung Shi Fu.
Okay.
This one's got lemon. Sorry, this one's an ice mint flavor.
Yeah. It goes down the throat nice.
Yeah, mint. And is it lemon as well? Or?
I mean, it's got a lemon on the front. It's got some mint leaves.
Beautiful.
And it says black tea.
This
Perfect.
one's
Perfect for today.
Oh, smelling it. It's very fruity.
Kung Shi
fruity.
Yummy.
Oh, that's very nice.
in it.
That is refreshing, man. I didn't really drink iced tea.
I like my iced teas.
That looks divine, as they say in fancy restaurants.
I'd recommend you guys give it a go.
I'm gonna give that a sip for
the way
sure.
it goes down. No kidding. I'm being for real.
Damn, this is real. This only got 2 grams of sugar per 100 mils, which is like it's like a 500 ml bottle, so it's only got 10 grams of sugar.
Yeah.
That's nothing.
That is
They know
great
what they're doing
maths
at
as well.
KCF.
Faster than my maths.
Sydney Public School System, Rockdale Primary has done the boys some good.
That's where I've gone wrong. I went to a rural public.
Shit. Can I get a sip of that? Oh, no,
please.
I'll drink this first.
Look,
and then.
I'll save it around. But look, I am going to just quickly say it's refreshing. It's black tea. It's iced. You have basically get all the notes, all the notes from the fruit on the front of the bottle.
Yeah.
The mint and the lemon.
It's talking music.
It's refreshing. I keep saying that, but it is definitely refreshing. And I'd say it's.
Is it refreshing?
How refreshing.
I don't know if it's. Yeah, it's definitely refreshing.
Yeah.
I'm gonna
Can you
give it a.
describe how you feel refreshed?
Yeah.
It's kind of like, because it's hot, it's kind of like the ice has gone down my esophagus.
Ooh.
And the minty lemon flavors are just having a little party
A
down.
little
party.
fun
Yeah.
times down there.
That is a great description.
Can't wait
Yeah.
for it to come out the body so I can have a fun time exiting.
Minty fresh
Minty fresh.
on the way out.
Yes.
That's it.
Yeah.
Refreshing.
Maybe you can let me know how it tastes.
Sorry, Khan. So out of 5, what are we saying?
Out of 5, I'm gonna give this a. Give it a 4 out of 5. It was
Yeah.
Pretty. I say 80%. Yeah.
Solid. AJ, I feel like a review from you would be
Yeah.
putting this podcast in territory that hasn't been yet.
Oh,
So
God.
Look,
All
if,
right.
if
Maybe
this
hold
makes
the
the
mic.
blog look,
For AJ.
I got you.
Hold that bad boy.
Thank you, Zeef.
Oh, what a
Got
crack.
that on the mic.
I'm gonna just get it on the mic.
Maybe we
That's,
need to get closer.
that's a pro.
Mm.
What are we thinking?
Have you ever been at the pub and thought, I want a lemon bitters because I don't want to drink?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Have you ever thought, I want that, but worse?
Oh,
I apologize.
Yeah.
bro.
No.
You can see yourself starting to
Yeah.
still start telephone.
That's it.
This is
About
not
getting
a
there.
criticism of you. This is a criticism, I think, of a company trying to do like all natural flavors.
Yeah, trying to do too
For
much.
for something that you expect in a pub setting to have no natural flavor.
That's true.
You know?
That's true. Why mess
But-
with something?
If it wasn't lying to me about it being lemon bitters, it
Yeah.
would be an enjoyable drink.
You think
It
so?
It's refreshing. It's summery. It's just not feeling a bit hungover in the pub
True.
and easing myself into it.
You know what is refreshing? The review you just gave. Keeping it
Yeah.
honest, keeping it
Yeah.
real.
I
You know?
actually I was like this when you were like about to reveal.
I know. And
Yeah. And then you like
Just-
dropped me off a cliff. I was like, damn.
180.
Yeah, we got to do a little,
Yeah,
that's what
build
it
and
is.
reveal.
What out of 5 and whole numbers only, AJ? What are you thinking about this beverage?
I'm going a 3.
Okay.
Like it's not
Okay.
terrible.
I'd say that's still pretty nice.
That's a good
Yeah,
review.
pretty-
That's scraping into like a credit or
forgiving.
like
It's
a
like
C.
being, like you wouldn't let me have half numbers.
Yeah, okay.
So I'm going for the middle. in
Okay.
mine.
Yeah.
Got you.
That works.
Got you. I like that. Median. All right.
News.
Yeah, I'm gonna bang this out so that we can finish strong with Zeef. This is a passion fruit sodali. Sodali.
Sadali.
Totally.
Sodali. Fuck. Oh my god, English. Prebiotic soda. It's passion fruit flavored.
Good
and
for the
no
gut.
sugar as well. Thank you.
Yeah. Huh? For good luck. Oof.
There you go.
Thank you, sir. Here we go.
Getting the bubbles.
Okay.
You see
All
where
right.
I'm coming from?
Yeah. So no. This is like Pasito mixed with yogurt, and it's carbonated.
What is Pasito?
What is Pasito?
Oh my god.
You know what? I know you're in a dicey bridging visa situation right now.
Yeah.
I might call him up and tell him.
Get him out of here.
We're getting you some cases of Kirks after this. We're gonna get going.
Yeah, I'm one of those, like, what do they call them? Those shut the door immigrants, you know? Let me in.
yeah,
Oh, my
nah,
brother
nah.
coming out. You don't even know what Pasito is. But nah, it's just it's the thing that you get with the prebiotic stuff, you know, the kombucha, and that's that funky taste
Yeah.
with the passion fruit soda. So
Gotcha.
if you're down with that, I'm actually down with that. I'm very down with the funky taste.
With the OPP, huh?
I'm down with my tummy brain feeling happy because I'm feeding it with the right stuff. You
Yeah.
get me?
Tummy brain.
Mm-hmm. Second brain, that's the gut.
Mm.
So I'm going to give this a 4 out of 5.
No
Oh
way.
my
Yeah,
god.
because I feel good about it. Like when I drink it, I'm like, this is healthy. And it's actually hitting the flavor notes that I like as well.
Hey.
Funk,
Fair.
passion fruit, soda pop,
Tummy brain.
tummy brain.
It's like a Red Hot Chili Peppers bridging riff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That could be the new ad for
Funk.
this company.
Soda pop.
Yeah.
Tummy. Feel. All right, Z, take
Bring it
us
home.
home, my man.
Yeah, man. So I got not soda, but it's a soda. Doing good fizzy drinks is what it says. 0 sugar, naturally sweetened, pink grapefruit flavor. This can apparently removes 2 plastic bottles from our ocean. So
Is it
Get
growing
Well
legs?
done, Zeke.
Even if it don't taste good, go ahead and buy this, y'all.
I'm just gonna say that's a bit of a cop out because every can is aluminium, and that's basically every can.
Yeah.
Aren't a lot of them lined with plastic?
I think they're just aluminium, no?
A real
But
we are the
look,
world
we
of
can fact
cans.
check after this.
Yes, we'll do that. We'll do that.
Oh,
Oh my gosh, that's a man,
man with
fingers
strong hands.
Look, man.
crack.
Roll your
Okay, here we
wrist.
go. Yeah, okay.
Ah, damn.
For what it's worth, I'm saving the environment, you know? So
Oof,
I can sacrifice the taste.
that's
Is
rough.
the pink grapefruit coming through? Yes, it is. Is it as pink as I want it? Probably not. You know what I mean? Is it soda? Yeah. So they get it wrong on the case. So, all in all,
Hitting them.
it's aight. It's aight. So I'm going to say, I'm going to give it a 3 as well.
Nice.
They're doing okay. AJ, thanks for letting us know what you kind of do and what the podcast is about. It's been really insightful. And, you know, again, guys, if anyone tuning in, feel free to go check out Pop Culture Boners.
Please.
But
We need the numbers. I want to quit my job.
Amen, sister.
come on, man. I think what's also interesting for me is like why you kind of chose that. You know what I mean? Like what kind of got you there? Because like, yeah, you know, it's cool enough that you have these thoughts, but like, why did you feel that, you know, you wanted to put this into a podcast, and why that topic specifically?
The joke I always make is that my friends got sick of me screaming at them at the pub.
Gotcha.
Because if you give me 2 glasses of cheap house white,
Yeah.
I will give you an entire thesis about why Point Break is the most homoerotic movie ever made.
Oh.
But I would do that like a lot.
Right.
Because I would watch something and then just start like pulling weird threads together and sort of observational things. And then, yeah, I was just sort of screaming them at people. So I started writing them down. And then obviously the blog died. And I had thought for a while, the first episode I had was that I watched a bunch of Post Malone videos.
Yeah.
And I was like, this man is interesting.
Yeah. Yeah.
So fascinating. Because that man is a nerd. Like, I don't know if you guys have watched a Post Malone video or two.
We've
I
been to
feel,
a concert. He's great.
yeah, I really like his music. I didn't think I would because it's not super my thing, but I was like, this is fun. And I like an infusion of some, like a little bit of emo and a little bit of rap, you know, which is what he's doing. But every music video is him living in just the ultimate sort of nerd fantasy. So like the Rockstar video, he has a sword. Why does he have a sword?
Yeah.
I don't know. Why did he give 21 Savage a sword?
Oh.
I don't know. Why didn't 21 Savage take the sword? It's like, so these are the big questions, you know? And then I watched Circles, and he's a knight. And he's in like a full suit of body armor. And I was like,
Those are good questions to ask.
yeah. I was like, what the fuck is going on here?
Yeah.
And then I started sort of just talking to someone about it, and she was like, I cannot emphasize to you how much I don't want to work through your Post Malone feelings with you. I was like, all right, fine. I will write them down. So I did.
Nice.
And then I also have a lot of feelings about Dwayne The Rock Johnson.
Yeah. Good. Bad.
Extremely positive. Exactly. I feel extremely positive about The Rock.
I love The Rock, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Great
hope you're
guy.
not being sarcastic.
No, I'm not. I
Kind
can't.
of about to leave.
God's got the gun under the table. Like,
The Rock's got shooters out here. He's ready to go. I watched a lot of Dwayne movies, and he doesn't kiss. All he does sometimes, and it's weird.
Wait, what?
I swear to God,
Pictured-
I've seen a kiss.
Have you seen Baywatch?
Nah.
It's bad, but he kisses in that, and it's not good. Try and picture another movie with Dwayne The Rock Johnson kissing.
can't.
Scorpion King.
you watch all these B, C, D side bullshit ass movies,
Nah,
man.
bro.
You take that back.
Sorry. I apologize. I apologize.
King
That's a
is
classic, bro.
number one
That
for The
man's
Rock.
wig
Look,
deserves
speaking of the rock shooters, we got 3 fucking shooters here.
This is the Rock Club over here.
I'm sorry.
But I was like, he's weirdly kind of asexual.
So
On
crazy.
screen.
I'm gonna go back home and rewatch a bunch of Rock movies now.
Yeah, you will find like some like allusions to kissing,
Yeah.
but not many actual kisses, and definitely not like making out. Like he's doing real chaste like 1950s movie kisses.
That's so interesting. I used to have a massive The Rock like poster from like when I was like 8 years old. It was like WWE, and it was like got it from the Easter show. It had like a WWE pack.
Nice.
And it was basically like The Rock, like naked with just like tights, and he had
And his
hair.
little undies.
That's how old he was. That's how old the pic was.
Got
Yeah.
you.
And it was blown up. It was probably as big as this window, and I had it in front of my bedroom. And,
Nice.
And
Explains
that's
a lot.
And that's when I knew.
Yeah, he's that guy, man.
Yeah, I genuinely love him. I really, really appreciate Dwayne The Rock Johnson. But the problem with having those thoughts run around your head is that there's only so many times you can say to someone, have you noticed that Dwayne The Rock Johnson never smooches? Before you're just like talking to yourself, basically.
I think that's so good.
And I think it has, I'm really
Because
fascinated.
you guys never met. If you guys met, you would have never started the podcast.
Oh my God.
You'd just be hanging
It
out
would
together
just be me.
all the time.
I'm just like, what? I need to know which pubs you're at. 'Cause
Yeah.
I'm trying to, that's where I'm trying to go, man.
yeah. Sorry, I cut you off there. So you were saying like,
Oh, so I was gonna say like I'm really interested in action movies because I
Yeah.
think like the sort of male body, particularly in action movies, is really interesting, and like kind of the way that it's portrayed and what it means and how it changes over time.
right.
And Dwayne The Rock Johnson has what I think in an American cinematic context is
Yeah.
like the perfect action body, but it's weird that it's sexless. And so that's a weird thing to say to someone at a pub. But if
is
you
so
say it into a microphone by yourself
That's content.
under a blanket, that's
Yeah.
just content, baby.
That's good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's kind of, I have thoughts like this all the time.
We got a lazy Susan.
Oh, we did it. Sorry, I had to. Sorry about that.
I'm so happy.
You know, from doing the blog, like, at what point did you kind of get to the point where you're like, this will just be easier as a podcast? You know what I mean? Because like,
Yeah. So I think when I started writing it down again and like writing out the thoughts, I was like, I was kind of tossing up because I don't love the sound of my own voice.
it's a good one though.
It's
we
gorgeous.
do. We do.
Like
Thank you
velvet.
so much. People that I know would probably also say that I love the sound of my own voice, but in terms of like editing it and writing it, it's not really my favorite thing to do. And so I thought about just it being a blog again, but
Yeah.
I actually kind of wanted people to interact with it.
Mm.
And it's maybe the only time in my life where I've made a decision about like creative content that was based on like, why would I do this if someone's not looking at it? And like I would still do it if someone wasn't looking at it. But I think that I thought that the medium made more sense for kind of where we were at culturally.
Yeah.
And like I still feel like I'm a couple of steps behind in terms of like the way that like YouTube has essentially sort of reinvented the podcast
Yeah.
as like a talk show basically.
Yeah.
Case in point, like this is a great
Yeah.
setup.
Shots fired, I guess. God damn, yeah.
But I could never do this because I don't want to edit the video. Like I don't want to put myself together like that. I don't want to be like particularly because the podcast is just me. Like I don't really want to
Yeah.
be a
Right.
talking head on camera.
Right.
And so yeah, it's a decision that I made that I felt reflected where we were at kind of culturally, but I'm still obviously just doing it in a way that is pretty low tech and kind of DIY. I think in terms of like a barrier to entry, I have a lot of really smart friends,
Right.
like really smart friends. And I was kind of worried that some of the way that I articulate myself sometimes is like a bit silly or a bit frivolous. And I was kind of worried that particularly when touching on stuff that's maybe well researched elsewhere or like has a really strong academic kind of backing to it, that me putting my own spin on it would feel a bit stupid or feel a bit sort of uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just sort of, the compulsion to do it was going to be there either way.
Yeah.
And so it felt easier to kind of cast aside feeling uncomfortable.
That's great because, like, one of the things is for us. I don't know if you guys can speak to it as well, but it's like the creator's conundrum and things like that. Like, why do you have the right to have a voice? But would you say the because some of your stuff is academically backed and there are people to be able to say fact checking and stuff.
you do the work, like you legitimately do the research. Is that why you're so confident in speaking about the things that you do, or you just like, fuck it, like I've got something to say, I don't really care, and I'm just gonna say
I
it?
mean, I'm a little bit like, fuck it, I just have something to say
Yeah.
because I Like there's beautiful, like I said, love action movies.
Yeah.
There's a lot of writing about action movies.
Of course.
And like other things that I'm interested in, like bodies and sort of, sexuality and all that sort of stuff. There's heaps of really good, interesting research there.
For sure.
I think the thing that I bring to it is maybe a touch of silliness, and that's kind of fine.
Yeah.
So yeah, I was just kind of happy to like let that be the thing that was interesting about it. But I would always recommend people read some of the papers that I'm reading because I think they're really interesting.
Yeah. It sounds like the thing that is like, obviously your podcast is super unique because it kind of is that intersection between like intellectuality and popular culture. But like that silliness is you. Like it's how you bring it to life. It's like the things that are going on in your head. And,
And this is a fucking scrambled egg up here. We've got no idea what's going on.
And you've turned it into this gorgeous podcast.
Like, it's a beautiful, beautiful little omelet. We've got some chives on there. It's nice,
We've come now to this point where we want to kind of invite you to ask us any questions. This is the flip mode.
Yes.
Part of the podcast. So
You're on the hot seat, so you get us the fire.
And feel free to get deep if you want to know anything. Get busy.
I'm curious as to what kind of got you started, because I feel like the stereotype for dudes with podcasts is just guys sitting in a living room and being like, "We are funny.
We are men."
And then sports. Yeah, and that's what I know about you, Khan, is that you love to have muscles and also chase women.
Like I'm getting attacked.
She's talking about your attire right now. The fact
It's
that you can
physically running.
Yeah.
But is that how you guys got started? Like, were you just sort of...
Yeah, we're just some regular meatheads just trying to, get a podcast started. No, definitely. It was a super long journey. All of our friends, like not just regular group of guys at a pub. It was like kind of like we all aspired to do something creative, but just didn't know what that thing was going to be.
Yeah.
And I didn't feel like just taking the leap without actually doing the due diligence and like, figuring out what that journey was going to be and like what that project was going to be. So like,
well, you guys sent me a really slick little deck.
Yeah, well,
that's all Nim's work.
That process has been this whole thing has been in the works roughly, like starting a side project and like turning it into something's coming for like 3 years, 2 or 3 years. Like I spent a lot of time during the pandemic being like, okay, it's time to reset. Finally have the time to actually stop and think about this shit.
Yeah.
Like thought about a brand, then thought about products for that brand and blah, blah, blah. And then it turned into this workshopping with all our friends being like, okay, we all want to hop onto this project, and naturally gains momentum, loses momentum. Some people are in, some people are out, whatever it is. And then I got to the point where like halfway through and it was just like, all right, I don't have the idea right now. I have life shit that I need to figure out. I'm not in the right headspace. I will get there. I just had faith. Like I just had a belief that I was going to get there. And I was kind of hoping that someone else in the crew was going to get there and let me tag along with it. But I was like, let me just live. Like, let me just figure out the shit that's going in my head. At that point, I was coming out of a breakup. We were coming out of a pandemic. I was really questioning stuff about my career, my manhood, my masculinity. I was about to turn 30. All this type of shit was just coming up. So I was like, all right, let me just figure that out. And then if I can get to a good like headspace where I can start creating after that, I'll do that. And then I turned 30, was walking my dog that day, and it came into the brain.
Nice.
Something's coming idea just came into my brain, and I wrote it down on my phone. As soon as I got back to Sydney, had a chat to Khan. I was like, I think I've got it. Like, I think I got the idea.
Nice.
And then slowly it was like working with Khan to build the idea out and like figure out what it could look like, bringing Zeeth in, bringing Eric in, Terrence in, all our friends, bringing you in. And it just grew and grew and grew into this thing. So it's like a very organic process, but it came out of like finding in myself that not knowing where I'm going or not knowing what I'm doing is completely fine, and that I'm not the only person that's going through this.
Yeah.
And why not film that journey?
Yeah.
And why not, turn that into something special?
Nice.
Kind of, just trying to like shed some light on your, contribution to the process. Like, how'd you kind of look at this and then kind of go, okay, I can see how I fit in there, and like, what was your kind of journey and your mindset to coming into this thing? You know what I mean?
What was that?
It took the words out of my mouth.
Yeah.
It's like, this is my question time.
Sorry.
Hey, shut up, man.
Got some wavelengths radioactive.
I feel like you guys are best friends in like
Yeah.
a
Brain
past life.
Yeah.
I love it.
Friendship.
Yeah.
Yeah, some of our close friends, we just got together and we were like, Nims pitched this idea for a brand, and we were like, damn, like a brand, owning a brand or being part of a brand sounds pretty cool. Myself personally, I don't want to work, in a corporate gig, climb up the ladder for the next 20 years. I don't feel like that's me, but I am glad that I have climbed that ladder a little bit. But definitely don't see myself going all the way. I just feel like I want more. I want more freedom, more creative freedom, financial freedom, what have you. But I feel like I don't have the skills of video editing, photography, blah, blah, blah. But I do know my personality and my energy will definitely add value. And the stories that I can tell through my experience, I feel like can resonate with
Con 101.
yeah, many Australians around the world, around the country, especially people of color and people that are similar to my upbringing and background. That's kind of my in, and kind of wanted to be part of this where I can share them stories. Because growing up personally, like looking on media, TV, music, radio even, to a certain extent of media form, I didn't have anyone or any character or figure that kind of represented my culture or myself, someone that looked like me or whatever it may be. So I really want to kind of like just turn the dial a little bit and be like, okay, well, we're in a great era of life right now where everything's so accepted and it's so welcoming. So why not actually put ourselves out there, even though we're not experts in any means.
As you've seen from
Of
this
imagination.
setup process.
I don't know what you mean. It's extremely professional.
Exactly. But I think the content we can input into culture is invaluable. Like I think we have so much to offer and give, and so many things that we can talk about that can be so relatable that we're just like, let's just start and not really worry about where we want to end up in.
Yeah. What about you?
For me, I guess like I'd say, from a young age, I've always been a little bit creative, and like definitely, I think what I can share with these guys is like having to come into that corporate world and that grind, and just kind of, you do kind of work through that discipline. Like, okay, this is what you do 9 to 5, and this is what you kind of have to sacrifice and all that, right? But one of the things that was really cool for me is joining the company that we all kind of I started at, and these guys, all of us were at one point, right? It was really cool for me to see guys like Nims and Khan that like. It was kind of the first time I went, yo, these guys are kind of weird like me, in a good way. You know what I mean? That like, none of these dudes are just like straight up meatheads that are just like, oh, are you a man? Do you get girls? And like, do you like sports? And do you only want to talk about sports? And like, I think
we do that, but we do other things a lot as
there
well.
are other things, but
You contain multitudes.
that's it. That's it. And I think like these guys kept it real open, and I think that was like a real a real like attraction factor for me. And be like, oh no, these guys are exactly what, I kind of value in the sort of like friendships I have with other dudes and things like that. I think through my time of understanding my creative process, it's been cool to kind of get a part of this and be like, oh cool, this is another outlet for that. You know what I mean? Because I'd say like we're all kind of creative in our own like different ways, right? Like all of our humors are completely different, I think. But this is one of those cool platforms for us to all kind of be like, this is what I think is cool. Do you think that's cool?
I might add to that, because you've actually touched on something that I think is like when you was Alex asking about like the typical broadcast is like, guys around the mic, we think we're funny, we're gonna talk about X, Y, and Z. Like the thing that has kind of drawn us all together is us being creative people, us, being extremely vulnerable with each other at points in our lives, and realizing how much power there is in sharing those experiences. Yeah. And this commonality of being like, fuck, like none of us have it figured out. Like, you know what I mean? Like we don't, I'm not out here, with a car, a mortgage, what else am I supposed to have? Family, kids, relationship. Yeah. Thanks for reminding me of that. Yeah. But, thanks. But, we're able to share with our friends, sharing that experience with each other, and we learn a lot from each other. I learn a lot when I talk to you guys about this type of stuff that I'm going through, and when you share your experiences with me. And the joy of doing that is that, like, you attract amazing, intelligent, beautiful, talented people and you know they get to share their journey and experiences with you, and you become infinitely wiser and better for it. So you know,
I think one of the things that this is sort of a question.
Please.
I'll work out what the question is halfway through saying the statement. One of the things that I found really interesting about meeting you was that you were when I first met you, I was a little bit like,
everyone is.
No. And, like, people are that way with me as well. So I've always tried and let it kind of roll off the top because I realize I come across as deeply weird. And it's because I am. And that's fine. People either like it or they don't. But when I first met you, you're obviously quite a gregarious person. You're very sort of
Big word.
busting out the multi-syllables. But you were like in the office, you were really confident. I think we might have both been assistants at that point, or maybe you were an exec. I don't know. Whatever. Doesn't matter. Yeah. Titles are fake.
Yeah.
But I was a little bit like, well, that man seems excessively confident, stressed.
Yeah.
That is an energy that I find quite stressful.
Yeah.
And so I was like, I'm going to just take my time getting to know that. But when one of the turning points actually was when we were forced to go on an horrible corporate trip. It was the terrible annual one
Getaway.
that we're gone for like 3 days. And like, I'm a person that likes to be by myself. I also have insomnia. And I take a variety of drugs to make sure that I don't walk into traffic. And so being in a space with like a lot of people for 3 days where I sometimes feel on the outside is quite stressful.
Yeah.
Anyway, we're on the bus back and I didn't want to talk to anybody. So I pretended to be asleep like a sensible person.
Nice.
But I was listening to kind of the conversations going on around me and I could hear you talking and you were so earnest. And it was like very disarming. And I was like you were talking about your feelings to somebody else that we worked with, and I was like, is this man insane? Like,
rule number one.
But it was really sort of disarming and really charming and like very sort of painted a really different picture from I think what you were putting out there beforehand. But like listening to that, it was really interesting to me and it sort of changed my perspective on you. And then the thought process that I had was like these other boys that work there that I find a little bit scary. If Nims is doing that and Nims is like the loudest of them, what are the rest of them doing?
Yeah.
And it turns out like nice stuff. Like it's really good. And so I guess I want to know how you plan to channel that energy into the podcast. Like, because we're obviously talking about a really specific thing. This is a meta episode. Like we are talking about making podcasts.
Yeah.
Which is nice, but in terms of like how you're selecting, I guess, the people that you're talking to and how you're pouring some of that energy into talking to them. Yeah. How's it going to work? Tell me more.
By the way, that's a beautifully scripted question. And the storytelling up to the question was...
It's like you've done this before.
I don't know what you mean. This is my first time holding a microphone.
I will say that inevitably it's going to be shaped by, like, the topics that we're discussing are going to be shaped by our immediate human experiences. So, like, we're going to do a pod on breakups. That was, like, something that was really prevalent in Zeeth and I and in our kind of life experience last year.
I'm sorry, that sucks.
Yeah, well, you know, it is what it is. That's life. But, you know, Khan has kind of felt heartache and heartbreak, and I've been around him, you know, during that period of his life as well. And the guest that we're bringing in for me is someone that's actually helped me sort through feelings and thoughts and helped me process things, and then has also gone through those, you know, situations and has a completely different perspective to share as well. So that's kind of been the format, I guess, that we've used for a lot of the episodes. It's like we have an episode on faith and how faith's been challenged, or how we've perceived faith going into different kind of going into different faiths in like, you know, Hinduism for me, Catholicism for you, Islam for you.
Oh, we got the whole set.
We've got the spectrum.
The Holy Trinity.
Yeah, and we've got a Christian coming on, a man of faith coming on as well, and it's just kind of like speaking to some challenging human circumstances and kind of bringing in someone that we feel like can add to that conversation in a refreshing way. But then outside of that, it's also just like deep diving into kind of similar territory as you. Like we've got an episode in a convenience store because we fucking love convenience stores.
Yes.
And we're talking about the culture around food and our upbringings around food and how that was like a love language for our parents because they couldn't say I fucking love you because you know yeah I hate you but eat more food because I actually love you. But yeah, so it's very much like obviously shaped around our human experiences, and then like getting the people that are almost like the bastions in our minds for those topics. So like when we think faith, bam, we think that person. When we thought creativity and podcasts and this creator's conundrum, this thing that we were going through, bingo.
Yeah.
Alex Johnson, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah. I think you've nailed it. Like where it's what you see is what you get. Like we're not trying to pretend to be someone that we're not. And I think like the stuff going in my brain, there's like
there are other people that are asking those questions.
Exactly right. Yeah, it's all the words out my mouth. And like I think having a platform just to invite people to be a part of the conversation. You don't have to be a celebrity or you don't have to be specialist in a certain field. It's more just like you've got a voice, you've got a topic, you've got a right to talk about something because no one has that experience but you.
One last question.
Please.
Indulge me. I'm sitting with three diverse men. Are you scared of your mums listening? Because I ask this because my mum listens to my podcast and I made a joke about fisting.
Oh.
And my mum Googled fisting.
Fun.
Wait, web or image?
I don't know what she found. I was too
YouTube.
I was too scared to ask. But my mum knows what fisting is now.
Shout out to
Nice.
moms.
And I don't know
Bonding moment.
Yeah. Anyway,
Sorry, Miss Johnson. Ooh, fisting's for real.
it is, and it's a good time.
So we got you on here, AJ.
You
we
brought a
need
lesbian
this.
on the podcast. I am going to talk about fisting at one point. I got to work it. I got to work it in. I just want to.
It took, an hour and 40 minutes to get here. So I
Bam.
appreciate
Look.
you giving us a bit of time to get the rest of the stuff out of the way,
We get the emotions out of the way, and then we get straight into,
That's it.
But are you scared of your mums listening?
In general, yes.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. In general, scared of my mum. Will be for my entire life. But I'll just quickly say that, like age has a lot to do with it for me. Like the older I get, the more I'm like, bro, like I don't want my mum to pass away not knowing who I am. Like that would be a damn shame.
And just quickly, I'll say I'm definitely not scared. I think that I'm comfortable with who I am and I've become a person where I'm trying to be a bit more open with anyone that I speak to. I don't want to have a version of myself or a type personality of myself.
Like it's kind of a changing time for her. Right. So, she's recently lost her husband, and like things for me now is like, trying to realize, okay, what's my mom's new identity? Right. So like, trying to understand that. And like, so yeah, in terms of like what I kind of put out there and whether my mom's going to receive it is, it is something for me to navigate, but at the same time, I'm also trying to do it, trying to take the lead of it in the sense that like, okay, look, this might be a time where I can help my mom maybe navigate some of those feelings because my mom's been the breadwinner and she's been kind of the head of the house and making sure she played both parts, father and mother, and like being strong for me and my brother. So I guess for the moment I'm trying to be like, look, there's more to you than you know. So maybe tap into that and maybe helping her. Maybe if she sees some of this, then she go, okay, cool. Then maybe that's how I can get into it.
That's dope. That's so beautiful, man.
It's really beautiful.
So that's where I'm at right now. But it's been a lovely episode, guys. I don't know about you guys, but this was refreshing.
Thank you for being our first.
Yeah.
Amen.
Thank you for being here, AJ.
Thank you for having me. This has actually been so nice.
This was really insightful.
Wait, nice as in like a shit date?
As in, I've
or
had
like-
a terrible time. And I really can't wait to get out of here.
It's been great to get to know your podcast and understand like your creative process.
Pop Culture Boner
That's the one.
on
Get
every
into
audio
it.
stream platform.
Please
Great
don't.
website with amazing collages and a blog with amazing references, and you can tell AJ's put the work in. so-
Please, I need to quit my job so bad.
Get into it, guys.
Listen to the podcast.
She needs it.
I need this.
And on that note, AJ, we'd love to have you close us out. So with that, a quote of the day, if you don't mind.
I think if we're going to talk about like creativity and survival and earnestness, I would say the thing that keeps me going is spite. Strong recommend.
Yeah,
Just picture something that makes you feel just like a little bit of rage, just like a tiny bit. Let that wash over you for a moment. Let it carry you into making something better, because otherwise you're just yelling into the void, you know?
That's great.
Amazing.
Ah, you're burning.
Yes, sir. Wow.
I like that.
Thank you, AJ. Thank you so
Yeah.
much, man.
Thank you,
Love
guys.
you, man.
I
Appreciate
re-
your presence
Yeah.
and your time and efforts, and hope to do this again real soon.
No, man.
Yes,
Hey, guys.
please.
Tune in next week, guys. You know what it is. It's something's coming,
Something's
baby.
coming.